I did not grow up on a farm at all. Both my parents grew up on farms, but this was a totally new experience for me.
I grew up on the farm. I was always outside as soon as I could feed a bottle calf. My grandpa bought the place back in the 50s, and then my dad took it over in the 90s, and then he passed away in 21, and my brother and I have been here full-time ever since. My name is Eric Wolf.
I'm Morgan Wolf.
And this is our dairy farm. I would say my favorite thing about farming is just being able to be my own boss. And everybody complains about working with their family and how hard it is, but whenever it's good, it is better than anything you've ever done. Also being able to see the fruit of your labor. You raise a calf and then all of a sudden it's a milk cow and you get to see how good she is, and that's pretty satisfying.
Most surprising thing is that you can't really shut it off. I mean, whether it's the row crop or the livestock, there always needs to be something done. If you need to get up in the middle of the night because the cows are out, well, somebody's got to do it and it's going to be you.
This year, our biggest challenge has just been fighting the weather. It's been pretty wet where we are. Trying to juggle the work-life balance, especially in the middle of planting or harvest or when we're baling hay. That doesn't leave a lot of room to be home with my wife and kid, and that can be kind of hard on both of us.
In January, we just had our first son. His name is Walker, and it has been really cool to see him getting out on the farm already.
I think I'm most excited for whenever he's out here and he's running around and he's wanting to go with me to the field, or he's wanting to help work cows or something. The first time that I heard about farm credit was whenever my dad was a customer there. We were building a shop and he wanted a little bit of financing, so I went through them. And then whenever I started my own farming journey, I realized how expensive farming was and realized I needed a little bit of money. So I talked to Craig Niemerk and he got me set up and been with him ever since. Craig wants what's best for us and really takes care of us. Very good at answering his phone and answering all the weird questions that we have of, well, can we save a little money doing this? Or can we save a little money doing that? He's very good about getting back to us and figuring out all the options. Their Fresh Roots program with the reduced interest rate was super helpful for me. Then also, whenever we were able to go on the St. Louis retreat and listening to Dr. Cole, everybody tells you, well, you got to know your numbers, you got to know your numbers. Well, what are you going to do with them once you know them, Dr. Cole really puts the why and the how to knowing your numbers and the flexibility that it affords you. Whenever you can say, okay, corn is at $4.50, I'm going to make money today and sell it, man, that just gives you so much peace of mind, especially whenever you're trying to grow a family and raise kids and everything.
We're just so thankful for every opportunity we've been given with them, and we wouldn't have been able to pick up on the farm when Eric's dad passed away if we didn't have them there to support us. It's not just about what they can do for you, but how they treat you, and it's always been very easy to tell that they care about us and our family.
My uncle's father got me started baling some alfalfa, and that just kind of snowballed from there.
I always had an interest in ag. I showed cattle and I was around it a little bit with my family. I honestly couldn't imagine living a different life.
My name's Josh Sawyer.
I'm Hannah Sawyer.
And our farm's located in Saragordo, Illinois. We farm corn, soybeans, wheat, alfalfa, and we're a cow-calf herd. We really farm with our entire family.
Yeah, it's an all hands on deck, especially when we're working cattle. And we have a great community of other farmers in our area who have taken us on and really showed us the ropes when it comes to raising cattle and how to get better genetics and what's worked for them, and helped us and teaching us along the way as well. Stage 3, Trip is 1. They love all things outdoors and tractors, and they love during calving season seeing the baby calves. There's a lot of long, tired nights, but I love the family aspect of us four. Josh is always a ranger ride away, so I can load up the boys and we can go for a ranger ride, see Josh in the tractor, taking meals, go find the cows, and I hope for it to stay that way. I hope our boys want to farm alongside us and with Josh.
We like working with Farm Credit because the family aspect, it's never nerve-wracking to call them. The relationship with our lenders has been really good.
They put on different programs and events to help us learn and to do better.
I really like the financial balance sheet one that I did when I very first started at Farm Credit. We've done a couple marketing ones.
We heard from Dr. Cole, and he said some things that have stuck with me from that event, and so I really do appreciate those opportunities.
The Fresh Fruits program, it allowed me to build this cattle barn. It allowed me to get a lower interest rate. It allowed me to build a little bit bigger building.
Yeah, the support from Farm Credit with the Fresh Fruits program has been invaluable to us, and it was quite the accomplishment being able to see the design of this building and help build our cattle producing dream. It is a big honor to be chosen as the Farm Credit Directors Cup winners because there's so many stories out there, and for us to be chosen to tell what we do here and what we're trying to accomplish here in small Cerro Gordo, I feel like it's really an honor to be able to do that. I feel like some good advice would be to create your community of people you can learn from because they have lifetimes of experience and they know what works and what doesn't work. We have somebody who helps us with our beef cattle operation. He's helped us with genetics and growing and pointing us in the right direction. And then someday you can share that experience that you've gained.
I grew up on a small cattle farm. My dad had a few cows growing up, and I had a lot of passion for it. The highlight of my day was getting home off of school and actually getting to do some of the farm stuff.
I did not grow up on a farm. I grew up in town, and then I got into the farm stuff later in life in college.
My name is Colton Collier,
I'm Colby Collier.
and we live right out here outside of Anna, Illinois. We are primarily a cattle operation. We also make a little bit of hay that we sell to some people, and then we may do a few acres of silage every year. On our farm, it's me and her, and then I have a younger brother, and my dad helps out quite a bit. I have a full-time job off the farm, and then I also, obviously, before and after work, deal with this, and then she's pretty much full-time here on the farm, so that's super handy because day-to-day chores she pretty much takes care of every day.
I start at about 5 or 6 and start feeding everything.
The thing that I love the most about farm is that it's very rewarding work. You can kind of see everything you're doing, and there's something always to do. You never get bored. If you do have an afternoon off, you can take the afternoon off if you got everything caught up, but you're almost never caught up, so I kind of enjoy that. I would say one of the biggest challenges is you're banking on something you can't control at all. So far this spring and early summer we've had a lot of rain, but if it cuts off and quits raining, then we're just in a bad spot. So I'd say that's the biggest challenge. How I think I first heard about Farm Credit is growing up showing they would always go out to the fairs, and then I think it was just kind of a collective thing in the agri community that Farm Credit's really good to the farmers. One thing I really like about them is this is the stuff they do every day. If I went to another bank and said, hey, I want to go buy a 40-acre farm, they're going to balk a little bit versus Farm Credit. They know the industry, they know everything about it. The relationship's really good. They help me out a lot with stuff. We are part of the Fresh Fruits program. Obviously, one of the biggest things is the learning incentives and that kind of thing. There's a ton of workshops out there that are really, really nice. I'll be honest, the first time I went to one, I thought, I'm just kind of going here to check off a box, and then kind of was pleasantly surprised. They are very informative. The biggest one for me was the budget sheet one. Now I can actually accurately fill out a budget sheet and know kind of where I'm at and not just be making up numbers. I would say it was an honor to get the Director's Cup. Like I said, we tried it for a few years and never lost hope, just kind of kept being hopeful for it, and it was an honor to be recognized for our work.